A very warm welcome to all of you. Myself, Professor Nagre SS from KG Somaya College, Kopargaon. Today, we are going to study one important point from the syllabus of second semester for the physical chemistry paper. The name of the chapter is Electrochemical Cells, and the important topic which we are going to study today is conventions used to represent a cell. So this is one important point from this chapter. Before starting this point, please subscribe my YouTube channel and press the bell icon in order to get the notification for the upcoming important video lectures. So let's look towards some introductory part regarding the cell. The vertex cell consists of two half cells or two electrodes. So we know very well that any vertex cell consists of the two half cells. One is called as oxidation half cell, second is called as reduction half cell. Or we can say that it consists of the two electrodes. One is a cathode and second must be anode. It is not convenient to represent the cell diagrammatically. We know very well that in order to represent the cell diagrammatically each and every time, it is a time consuming job. So to minimize this type of the representation of a particular cell diagrammatically, in order to represent the cell, following important conventions are used. So in order to save our time for the drawing of this type of the particular cell, we have to use some important conventions. Let's look towards the important conventions used to represent a cell. What are the different conventions along with the proper examples? So let us start these conventions one by one. So the first important conventions in order to represent a cell is the negative electrode or electrode with higher oxidation potential is always written to the left. So those electrode which having the higher oxidation potential or which is a negatively charged is always written to the left hand side. This is left hand electrode or LHE in the cell. This electrode is called as the left hand electrode, or in a short we can say that it is a LHE electrode in a cell. On this electrode, oxidation reaction takes place. Frequently, the electrode having a negative charge or having a higher oxidation potential is called as left hand electrode, and always oxidation reaction can takes place on this type of the electrode. So let us look towards a simple example. Suppose a zinc metal rod or metal strip is immersed in an aqueous solution of zinc sulfate. So this is called as the one simple example of an electrode having a negative charge. So we can say that such a type of the electrode always written on a left hand side for the representation of a cell, and this electrode is called as the left hand electrode. This electrode may be represented in another way, that is, we can represent this electrode like this: zinc having a negative charge, vertical line, zinc 2+. So this is a first important conventions for the representation of a cell. Let us look towards the second important convention. The positive electrode or electrode with lower oxidation potential is always written to the right. This is right hand electrode, that is RHE in the cell. On this electrode, reduction reaction take place. So those electrode having a positive charge or which having a lower oxidation potential is always written to the right hand side of a particular cell, and this is called as the right hand electrode, which can be represented as RHE, and on this electrode always reduction reaction takes place. So let us study a simple example. When a copper metal or metal strip is immersed in an aqueous solution of copper sulfate, this is to be treated as a right hand electrode, and it is represented as copper sulfate, vertical line copper plus, or it may be represented as copper 2+, vertical line copper plus. The third important convention is here: a single vertical line between electrode and salt solution or in between the two salt solution indicates the direct contact between them. For the representation of a cell, always a vertical line a single vertical line is always used in order to show a indirect contact between electrode and salt solution or in between the two salt solution. Let us see a simple example. If we take here a zinc metal rod or metal strip immersed in aqueous solution of zinc sulfate, we have to use here a single vertical line. It indicates the direct contact between this metal rod to that of the aqueous solution of its particular salt. Again, a vertical line is used in order to show a direct contact between the two different salt solution. Here, one aqueous solution of zinc sulfate and second is the aqueous solution of copper sulfate. So, to show this direct contact, we have to use here vertical line. And the next vertical line is used here for showing the direct contact between this copper electrode to that of the copper sulfate. This cell may be represented in another way as zinc having a negative charge, vertical line zinc 2 plus, again vertical line copper 2 plus, vertical line copper plus. So this is an important convention number 3. Always use a single vertical line for showing a direct contact between either metal to that of its aqueous solution or in between the two different aqueous solutions. The fourth number convention is the double vertical line between the two salt solutions indicates the indirect contact between them. This is the case when salt bridge is used in the cell. In some cases, what happens for the construction of a cell, we can use the salt bridge. So whenever a salt bridge is used in a particular cell, at that time, a double vertical line is always used. A double vertical line is always used to show the indirect contact between the two salt solution. So let us study this type of the simple cell representation. Zinc vertical line zinc sulfate, double vertical line copper sulfate, vertical line copper plus. So in this case, we use here a double vertical line which shows the indirect contact between this aqueous solution of zinc sulfate to that of the aqueous solution of this copper sulfate. So this is an important convention number 4. That is, whenever such a type of the salt bridge is employed in a particular cell, use a double vertical line for the indirect contact between the two different salt solutions. The next important convention is convention number 5. In case of a gas electrode, inert metal conductor is always incorporated in the convention. At some instances, we can use a particular gas electrode. So whenever we use the gas electrode, at that time, in order to show it, we can use a inert metal conductor. So let us see a simple example. We can, in order to represent a particular hydrogen gas electrode, we can take here a platinum as a inert metal conductor. So it is a platinum, H2, vertical line aqueous solution of HCl, or it may be represented as platinum, H2, vertical line aqueous H plus. So this is a representation of a hydrogen gas electrode, and in such cases we have to use here a inert metal conductor as a platinum. The second important representation of such a type of the gas electrode is chlorine gas electrode. In this case also we use here platinum as a inert metal conductor. So platinum, Cl2, vertical line aqueous solution of such a type of the Cl minus. So these are the two simple examples of the gas electrode. First is a hydrogen gas electrode, second is called as the chlorine gas electrode, and in such cases we have to use an inert metal conductor. In this case we use here platinum. So this is the next important conventions in the case of representation of a gas electrode. The next important convention number 6 is here. When concentration or activities of solution and pressure of gases are required, these are written in the brackets. At some instances, we have to represent a particular cell having the activities of a solution or pressure of a gases. So at that time, these activities of solution or pressure of a gases are represented in a bracket. For example, the first simple example for a cell is here. Zinc having negative charge, vertical line, zinc sulfate. The activity of such a type of zinc sulfate is 0.1 molar. Double vertical line, copper sulfate, whose activity of this solution is a 0.1 molar, vertical line copper plus. So if we want to represent the activity of a solution, we can represent that activity in a brackets. The second important example for representation of a cell is platinum, H2. In this case, this H2 is a gas electrode, so we have to use its pressure. So that pressure is represented here in a bracket having 1 atmospheric pressure, vertical line HCl. In this HCl solution, the activity of H plus is equal to 1, so it is represented in a bracket, comma, AgCl in a solid state, vertical line Ag plus. So according to this convention number 6, we can say that whenever we want to represent either the concentration of a particular solution, it can be represented in a bracket, or the activity of a solution, it can be again represented in a bracket, or in case of a gas, if we want to represent its pressure, it can be again represented in a bracket. So this question convention number 6 is important in the case of either the solutions or for the case of the gaseous electrodes. The next important convention number is 7. For a cell with a spontaneous reaction, flow of electrons is from LHE, that is anode or oxidation electrode, to RHE, that is cathode or reduction electrode. The EMF of such a cell is always positive. We know the output of each and every cell is nothing but the EMF. So whenever a cell having a spontaneous reaction, in which what happens, always the electrons can be flow from this left hand electrode towards the right hand electrodes. This is the direction of flow of electrons from this left hand electrode towards this right hand electrode, or we can say that it is from anode. Negatively charged electrode is a anode or oxidation electrode towards the positive electrodes or reduction electrode. So this is a direction of flow of electrons. The EMF of such a type of the cell is always positive. So in this case, these electrons can be flow from negative electrode towards the positive electrode. At the same time, the electric current can be flow from right hand electrode towards the left hand electrode. So we can say that the direction of flow of electrons is exactly opposite to that of the direction of flow of electric current. So this is a important convention number 7. The next important convention number is 8. The EMF of a cell is calculated with the help of following simple equations. How to calculate the EMF of a particular cell for a particular cell. So for this purpose, some important equations are to be used. The selection of equation depends upon the type of potential of electrodes. So these are the 3 simple equations for the calculations of EMF of a cell. The proper selection of either of these 3 equations depends upon the type of potential of the electrodes. Suppose this equation number first is commonly used when the oxidation potential of left hand electrode and reduction potential of right hand electrode is to be given. In this case, this EMF of a cell is calculated as E cell is equal to summation of oxidation potential of LHE plus reduction potential of RHE. So when these two type of the different oxidation and reduction potentials are to be given for these 2 electrodes, we have to take their summation and it gives a resultant EMF of a particular cell. The second important equation is when the oxidation potential of both the electrodes are given for left hand electrode also and for right hand electrode also. So at that time, the E cell is to be calculated as E cell is equal to oxidation potential of left hand electrode minus oxidation potential of right hand electrode. And why this is so? Because we know very well that the oxidation potential of left hand electrode is always higher than that of the oxidation potential of right hand electrode. So this is a equation number 2. The third equation is commonly used when the reduction potentials of both the electrodes are given. So in that case, E cell is to be calculated as E cell is equal to reduction potential of right hand electrode minus reduction potential of left hand electrode. So these are the three simple equations which can be commonly used for the calculation of EMF of a cell, and these three equations can be used depending upon what type of potential of electrodes are given. So depending upon that, choose the appropriate equation to calculate the EMF of the particular cell. So in this lecture, we come across the 8 different important conventions in order to represent a cell. So these conventions are very helpful to represent the particular cell within a short time span on a paper, and by using this type of the different conventions, it is very easy for us for the representation of a particular cell within a single line. I hope you understand all these conventions for the representation of a cell. The remaining important points from this chapter we will take in a next lecture. So with this, I stop here. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you. Thank you so much.